Now, people have said that there are two different instances, that 2010 and 2015 are two different instances. 2010, the president did not hand over to his vice.
Yes.
In this instance, the president have complied with the constitution.
Yes.
You don't see that there is a difference?
See, Igbokwe, if these people value integrity, she will be begging the president to resign after 100 days. Is that what you're asking him to do? Resign? See, we have said resume. If you know you cannot resume, why don't you just resign? After 100 days, if these people value integrity, after 3 weeks, a resignation will have been done. Nigerians do not need to beg the president to resign. Nigerians do not need to be having a daily sit at a unity fountain. Nigeria, there's no work is being done.
After 3 weeks, if the president doesn't get better, you'll ask him to resign?
He should voluntarily, if he knows that his health will hold Nigeria to ransom for 100 days. Is this the first time the president is going to the UK? No. In January, he went for 50 days. He has been going. Initially, they didn't even want to tell Nigerians that the president was sick.
Would you be saying that you're a kind employer if your employee doesn't resume in 3 weeks and you ask the person to resign?
If it begins to affect my work, I will ask the person to resign. If he fails to resign, I will sack the employer. You see, Maokwe, Nigeria is bigger than an individual.
Okay.
Nigeria is bigger than a political party. Nigeria is bigger than the interest of a few who are benefiting from government, who will go to any length to silence those who ask questions. And to Mr. Joe Igbokwe, it is not against the law what we are doing. What we are doing is also not wrong. What we are doing is we are asking questions that must be answered. Nigeria is not a monarchy. Nigeria is a constitutional democracy. We have the right to ask questions, and government must answer the questions that we ask.
Well, I think you already just sent the baton right back to Lagos. Chamberlain?
Yes, indeed, and Mr. Igbokwe, I'm sure you've seen comments that people have said about your party. Well, they campaigned on the kind of things they said. No medical trips, they will restrict a lot of those things. But if you say that the president's ailment is private, but the funds used to maintain it is not private, it's public funds.
You wouldn't know. I was listening to Femi yesterday. He said he didn't even know where the funds are coming from. So you don't even know.
Where would they come from? Would it be a private funds?
Somebody
you think? Or do you think it's private funds?
The man has integrity.
He won't use public funds.
Anybody can come from anywhere and fund that.
What about his jet? What about his jet in London? Is it private money or is it the public money?
But I want to
is
go
Nigerian
back.
Air Force private?
I want to go back to what the difference between Yar'Adua's situation and Buhari's situation. In case of Yar'Adua, power was not transmitted. Some people were just running the government. So they want to judge us by their own standard. When you are talking to Ade and you are talking about PDP, these are the people that...
But he has repeatedly said that
leave him.
No longer
I know him very well.
PDP.
Look, I'm not a baby. I've been on this since 1985. I don't know whether he was born then.
That's besides the point.
I'm not a baby. So I know what is playing out. We are all politicians.
What is playing out?
What is playing out is that those who lost power yesterday are dreaming of coming back after decimating
That's
Nigeria.
how you dismiss it.
That's how it does. But they don't have the crowd.
Doesn't matter.
They don't have the followers.
Let's go there. Doesn't matter.
The man is as popular.
Let me ask.
As anyone else.
Even
while on a sick bed, and he's still doing the work.
If you talk about the crowd, was it a crowd that started the revolution in Tunisia? It was one person. So it doesn't have to be a crowd because
this one has no capacity and no pedigree to do what he's doing. These are the people that destroyed Nigeria. We're just trying to build.
You will not impugn his integrity. Let's focus on the issues, which is what we do on this.
Where is integrity?
But then, if you compare
people that stole everything in sight,
you have gone back to the Yar'Adua scenario. And we do know that at that time, too, there was a doctrine of necessity. The law was eventually amended, and that was corrected. But in this case, have we heard anyone say, well, we've seen the public service rule. It says that you cannot be away for a certain amount of time. But if you've been away as a president of the country for over 3 months, don't we think that we should then look at our laws and then say, okay, in order to avoid these kind of scenarios, let's put in place how long can a president be away from on medicals?
Section 145 settles it. As I speak to you, there's no vacuum anywhere. This young man called a day and you said, nothing is going on. Everything is at standstill. Nothing is going on. He's a liar from the pit of hell. He doesn't know anything.
Let's talk about your party now.
Yes.
And your party did say, we did see it in the papers also, that come 2019, President Buhari will be the president again for a second term, even when he's not well.
I've just read about Woodrow Wilson here. He served 12 years.
So he became the president of London.
No, don't worry. When we get to the bridge, we'll cross it. Let me tell you, if you want to employ people, you say, first of all, intelligence, energy, integrity. If the man you want to employ don't have the third one, integrity, don't bother to look at the first and second. Buhari has integrity.
That is what was looked at. That is what was looked at when he was employed in 2015.
I'm coming.
That's the same thing that was looked at when he was employed.
Yes.
He was elected in 2015.
And
you think that the people will still look at that again, even though he's ill?
I'm telling you, 120% beyond mathematics, I stand with him. Even on the hospital bed. Because those who are physically fit, who rule this country, they were not in the hospital. They were not in the hospital bed, but they cleared everything.
What has integrity got to do with knowing the country, knowing what ails the president?
What is the meaning of that? The man transmitted power and went to take care of himself. And he has a professor, acting president, that you're asking questions. You're looking for another thing.
If everything is okay,
why can't we accept the obvious and painful truth that we lost an election and just go to sleep? That you destroyed Nigeria for 16 years and somebody is building it.
Are you putting every other Nigerian who is not a member of the PDP in the same, you're painting them with the same brush? If they say they deserve to know, since it's public funds that takes care of all those medicals.
No, people are at liberty to say whatever they want in the democracy. But what did the law say? What did the law say? The needful had been done. If there's anything left to be done, National Assembly should handle that. Because they understand the law.
Do you think that that should be looked into?
Before I came here, I went to search what the constitutional lawyers, are saying.
It's not about, whether or not you transmitted power now. It's about how long do you think a president should be away for? Because, different countries now, you see all sorts of questions, all sorts of comments about, okay, I understand.
If they push.
We need to go to break. Not to worry. We'll put that through when we return in a moment. Join us again.